Hey guys, this is Hope, and this is the My Lotus Moments podcast.
Taxi driver, I swear I've got 3 lives balanced on my head like stick knives. I can't tell you the truth about my disguise. I can't trust no one, and you say a lie who I
So hey guys, we are back with a male's perspective, and today I have with me T. Sams.
Good evening, everybody.
And Travis. Can I call you Travis?
Yeah, you can call me. That's
Okay.
fine. That's fine.
Well, Travis is a graduate of Southern University. He is a member of the Beta Sigma chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated.
The finest.
You done? You done?
That had to be said.
All right. Well, he's also a social studies teacher, as well as, he is currently single but in a relationship. Mm-hmm. So today, Travis will give us a little bit of insight on today's topic, which is guys going ghost. What you think about that?
That's interesting.
Yeah.
It's gonna be. I mean, it's gonna be pretty much cut and dry, but nonetheless, it's interesting.
We've all had those experiences, whether if you're a lady or a guy, if someone is gonna ghost on you, or even if you've done the ghosting. I think we've all experienced that. So it'll be interesting to hear what this writer has to say. All right, so let's get started. I'll go ahead and read to y'all the letter that was sent to me. I know it's been a while. This letter was sent to me about a month ago. But nevertheless, we are here and we are going to get started. Hey fellas, so here is my dilemma. I met a guy a couple of years ago and we went on one date. The date was great. We went out to eat and had drinks. We stayed in a restaurant long after our meal, just talking and cracking jokes. We immediately learned about each other, graduating from the same university, though we had never crossed paths. We talked about his career and the obstacles he was having as he was a law school graduate, but after a few attempts, he had yet to pass the bar. But he was motivated to keep trying. I found that to be admirable, and I respected him for continuing to go after what he wanted. Shortly after the date, things seemed to fizzle out, but I didn't think much of it because I knew his focus was on trying to study for the next exam. So, being a thoughtful person, a few days before the exam, I created a good luck basket of all the things I learned that he liked, including a few gift cards of his favorite restaurants. The day we met was the last day I saw him. He said thank you and just left. There was no follow-up text, no sorry, I fell off the grid call, nothing. Even though we only went on one date, I grew fond of him. So naturally, I was disappointed that things turned out the way they did, but I wasn't too attached, so I let it go. 2 years later, we crossed paths again. My initial reaction was not to give him the time of day, but after I made it clear how disappointed I was in him not ever reaching out, not even to say thank you for a nice gesture, he apologized and explained that he was going through some things at that time. I tried to get him to be specific, but he didn't want to. He told me he still hadn't passed the exam. I felt compassion for him and decided to forgive him because I could relate. He asked me out again, and again we met up for dinner and drinks. Again, we had a great time. We laughed all night and had a conversation regarding community, social justice, parenting, etc. At the end of the night, he kissed me more than once, and we went on our separate ways. Despite having a great time, I was cautious because I knew of what he was capable. Nothing about him seemed different. He was just as great as I remembered. He even called me and talked to me during my drive home. We talked on the phone until I was struggling to stay awake, and I convinced him to say goodnight. Even though he said he would call me the next day, we never spoke again. In fact, the next afternoon, I texted him, thanking him for a great time and how I was looking forward to the next time. Unsurprisingly, he did not respond. Giving him the benefit of the doubt, I called him the next day to inquire about what was going on. Before I could say hello, he told me he was on the phone with his mom and he would call me back. I knew he was lying, and he wasn't on the phone because his line never beeped while it rang. Concluding that he was lying, I decided to once again let it go. This time I was more disappointed, but because he had gone ghost before, I wasn't surprised. The fact is, it still hurt because at the very least, I felt as though I deserved a reason. I could respect his decision to not want to pursue anything if that was the case, but I can't respect a coward. So my question to you guys is, what could possibly make a guy go ghost? For the record, no, I don't believe it was another woman, as we talked about that on both dates, and that was not the vibe. On the second date, he continued to apologize about disappearing the first time and explained he was going through quote-unquote some things, and he left it at that. He wouldn't provide any details. I would love to hear you guys' perspective on this and what makes guys go this route. Sincerely, disappointed and confused.
Wow.
So, Travis, what do you think about disappointed and confused?
Disappointed and confused is very persistent.
Persistent? What do you mean?
I mean, okay.
The opportunity it seems as though the opportunity presented itself for her to go out on a date, and she did. It wasn't like she was hounding him. She didn't let it go. So
I understand the first one, but the second go round,
okay.
Just writing some stuff down. I mean, if I go on a date with somebody, and I mean, whatever may have happened, whether I did something or she did something, and we don't talk to each other ever again or whenever.
After the first time?
Yeah, after the first time.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden 2 years go by. Follow me, ladies, follow me. 2 years go by.
Okay.
And we see each other. And let's just say I'm this guy. I know you're pissed. So I probably wouldn't even try to engage, but I don't understand what was the purpose of her engaging in the first place. But I guess like she said, she felt that she needed closure for something.
But it seems like he tried to explain what happened the first time. And she did say, she made clear to him that, she wasn't cool with what happened the first time. And
she should have just kept walking after she said it.
So are you saying she should never even decided to go on a second date with him?
She should not have. I mean, if somebody did me like that the first time and everything, I mean, you take your lick, take it for what it is, and move on. But for the second time, I mean, I guess I'm just trying to find the feeling of what she actually had when she saw him, because
maybe she liked him, or maybe you're right. Maybe she, I don't know.
Okay. Let's put that out there. Chemistry. She thought that was chemistry that was there. Clearly, there was no chemistry on his side.
Well, why do you say that?
Well,
it seems to be chemistry on both sides.
What did you see that at?
I mean, if they both went out and she never said the date was awkward. She said they laughed and had a good time.
He just sounded like an intellectual whore. That's exactly what he sounds like.
So if it wasn't no chemistry, why would he ask her out again?
I mean, because some people actually just enjoy the fact of talking.
Okay.
And and nothing more, nothing less. I mean, women do this to men all the time. A man is either going to be an intellectual whore or a cuddle bitch. That's exactly how women label men sometimes, and they use them.
I have never.
You've never
labeled a guy as an intellectual whore.
You've never just had. You've never just had. You never just had a man or a friend, a male friend, whom you talked to, and it was nothing more. It didn't go no farther than what it went. But I mean, he was a great guy. Y'all can have great conversations. But I mean, there was no chemistry as far as to be adventurous on the intimate side.
Yes.
Like you have that.
Yes. But I've never laid with him as that.
But you've never laid with him.
Yeah.
But do you believe, without a shadow of a doubt, that if the shoe was on the other foot, that he would probably have laid with you?
I don't know, because our relationship is so platonic that we don't put labels on it.
Clarify that. What do you mean you put labels on it? Everybody puts labels on something.
No, we genuinely are friends.
Okay, we're not saying that. We're not saying that you are not friends. What we're saying is, speaking from a man, because that's exactly what I am, there is no woman that a man would be friends with and potentially not have sex with.
Well, I can't. You may be right, because I can't speak on that. But I think as far as our relationship, and I'm thinking of two guys in particular, because I have two guys that I'm just genuine. I don't know what they think, but I do know that there's no attraction there.
On your part, or
I don't think it's on either of our parts.
Now, I think ladies.
And we've been friends for so long. We talk about their relationships,
As you should. I mean, but attraction,
So what are you saying? That because, so you're saying they're labeling me as what?
As what they would or would not do? Of course, we all have done this. We all have done this. We still do it to this day.
Oh, I can't.
Like, I would never sit up and look. Men do this shit a lot, ladies. That men do this shit a lot, and I'm just gonna go ahead and put it out there. If a man ever says, like, this young girl or whatever, I'm not gonna say young girl, but this girl right here, she's like a sister to me and everything. We don't do anything like that. Let me tell you something. Just because he has said it doesn't mean he never thought it, because more than likely he has. But once you have friend zoned his ass, of course he is not going to be that stupid, dude that literally cross that track and be like, and damage everything what he has. I mean, because true enough, there is respect there, and he does probably love and care for you, because indeed you are friends to whatever level. But I don't want no woman out in the world to think just because you have a male friend, don't think that he would not take your ass to bed if given the opportunity or the chance. We, as men, we don't think like women do. Women can literally just be cool with a dude and nothing more. Not saying that men can't do it, because we do it, because of course we can't force you to do anything. We're just simply saying, if friend gave me an opportunity to slay one night because of whatever we was in our feelings or whatever, yeah, it probably more than likely would happen, especially if she's attractive. I'm just sorry. I mean, that is what it is.
All right. Well, what does that got to do with the story?
Oh, back to the story. I said all of that to say that she was more so into him that he was into her. Because not at one time, while, whatever was in her letter, did she say that he pursued anything. And my thing is, anytime.
What do you mean? He asked her out again.
Did he?
Yes.
But that's for the second time that they actually met. But that's
he could have not asked her out. However they met, I don't know how they met, but he could have very well just said hello, goodbye, and so could she, and they could have never spoke again.
I truly believe that he only did that out of conveniency. It was just convenient.
But he could have also, if that was the case, he could have canceled the date.
He could have, but he didn't want to.
Not gone on a date. If he was gonna go ghost anyway, if his plan was to go ghost anyway, then why go on a date anyway? Why waste your time?
I mean, but what's the fun in that?
What's the fun in not talking? It didn't even. Okay.
Again, when these games that sometimes people play. Again, you have to realize what part are you playing. And anytime you do play these games, you have to play to win. And sometimes winning, you win by any means necessary. I'm not saying it's fair. I'm not saying it's what you're supposed to do.
So you're saying he was playing a game and his game was whatever.
He was playing his game.
Which was?
Self-interest. I'm not saying that this woman is a bad person. I'm pretty sure she's not. Like I said, the first thing I got from her, she's very persistent. Like she has to say what she needs to say, and she needs you to understand, like, I have something to say and you're going to listen to it. Right. So, but at the same time, I want to say he respect her on that level, as just far as like, you know how when you get around certain people and when it's just this other energy that actually just happens. And I really just rely on to say that it's just chemistry, because once you separate, that chemical bond is gone. It's just gone. That shit don't come back whatsoever.
You're right.
And I think she tried to hold on to something more than what it really was.
Makes sense.
Because when you go your separate ways and everything, that's kind of what it is.
Yeah. Okay, so let's get into the first question. Let's talk about a time you've ever experienced, quote unquote, going ghost. Have you ever been in a situation where either you were the person who went ghost on somebody, or somebody went ghost on you?
I've actually did both.
Okay, so which one you want to talk about?
There is shame. I will talk about at first how it happened to me.
Okay, go for it.
I can't even remember what year this was, but at this point in time, I did find this young lady very, very, attractive, very interesting, and I actually thought that she liked me, and I would actually say she did, because there was a certain point where we were making plans to just literally get to know one another. Nothing serious, y'all. Nothing serious. Just literally trying to get to know the person. We went on dates, went to the movies. A couple of times that she actually stayed at my, in my apartment. Nothing actually happened. But I'm definitely not finna sit up and say I didn't want something to happen. Just didn't want to look thirsty. If we can go ahead and put that out there. But again, we just kept it copacetic, kept it going. And then once the opportunity, came available, we did take it to the intimacy to another level. But I knew for a fact, that was not my girlfriend. I wasn't her boyfriend. We was just, we were just chilling, really. And then all of a sudden, it's the phone calls, less phone calls, to the point like, less text messages. You avoiding me, and I'm starting to think like, damn, my breath stink or something. Was I bad? What the hell is going on? I just didn't get it. I didn't get it whatsoever. And when the last time I saw her, I really wanted an explanation as far as, what the hell happened, like what was going on. Like, I know I didn't do anything shady, but then I realized, you can't control people, and people just do whatever the hell they want to do when they want to do it. So I just said, I'm not even going to ask, because she might have feel like, who are you to think that I owe you an explanation of anything? So, and I respect that.
So
I respect
you
that.
ever saw her again after the situation?
Nah.
Okay.
Not whatsoever.
So what about a time you've gone ghost on somebody?
Now, the reason why I went ghost, and in my mind, it's very valid. I'll actually put myself in this gentleman's shoes. I was at a place in life where I felt as far as my stability wasn't strong enough. It was okay to kick it and all of that type of stuff, but in my mind, I kind of saw the relationship going in an area where she wanted it to be more serious than what it was, and the only thing it was just literally supposed to be was just we kicking it, we cool, we're just friends. Literally, that's all it was supposed to be. No feelings involved whatsoever. And then all of a sudden, she became really, really gung ho about expressing these things, and I'm like, wait a minute, too heavy, chill out. To the point where me just literally trying to shun her away, like, I don't want to hear it right now. I'm trying to do other stuff. She didn't really, really like that. Mm-hmm. So me trying to be ghost in that, it's like literally, she came to my house, knocked on my door, like we about to talk. My stepdad let her in because he didn't know any better. So I'm like, wait a minute, what the hell are you doing in my living room? What the fuck? So we had to really just have that conversation, and she was like, you've been avoiding me, blah, blah, this and blah, blah, that. And I had to tell her, like, look, at this moment, everything, we're cool, but what you have going on and what you're trying to do is a little bit heavy right now. And I'm definitely not trying to go there. Now, I've already alliterated and said that before, but sometimes when you're just living in a happy moment, and this can go for man or woman, because I'm guilty of that too. When you're living in a happy moment, you just kind of want to just stay there. You don't want too much change, and you're okay with that. But to the other person, it may appear that it's something more than what it really is. And I was like, nah, I didn't want that. Mm-hmm. That's not what I wanted, because even that, what she may have wanted, to me appeared as an obligation, and I didn't want to be obligated to anything. Okay. So that's definitely why I went ghost.
I think, we'll get on that a little bit later, but I'll share a story where, let's see. Of course, in this time of technology, social media, I met this guy over the internet. Mm-hmm. I forgot. I think it was like through Instagram or something. He's a really cool guy. And we were talking. He didn't live in the same city as me. So we would meet like halfway because he lived like an hour away. We would meet, hang out. It was nothing too serious. We would just literally laugh and kick it and chill or whatever. Like wherever we would meet, we would just go probably have drinks or whatever. So it was real cool. Like, no, I didn't pressure him to like be in a relationship because I had just gotten out of a relationship. I didn't even want a relationship, but we was just cool. We was friendly, and it wasn't nothing sexual or anything. We had that type of relationship for about 4 or 5 months. And then I think I was about to graduate from college. And so I invited him to my college graduation. Well, not the graduation, but like my party or whatever. Mm-hmm. And he was like, oh, yeah, it's cool. I'm coming. And then he didn't show up. And even though, like, up until that day, he was like, yeah, I'm coming. I'm going to see you there, blah, blah, blah. He didn't show. And so afterwards, like, of course, the night of, after, like, I realized he wasn't coming, I didn't even bother to, like, text him or anything because I was too caught up into the whole celebration. But the next day, I was like, hey, what happened to you? And there was no response. And then maybe like a couple days later, he was like, oh, I'm sorry. I don't even remember the excuse that he gave. But whatever the excuse was, it wasn't a good enough excuse for me to be like, oh, it's okay. So
right.
That was it. That was kind of it. Like, we never really said anything else to each other. But over like maybe a year or two, he would like occasionally like send me a text message or send me like say something on Instagram to me or things like that. And I was just like, hey, what's up? But
he fishing.
Yeah, but I never really just like tried to, I guess, have some type of anything more beyond that just casual, hey, what's up type of thing. So yeah, that was my story of being ghosted on.
I guess they couldn't hurt me if it brings me to my knees.
So what's up, y'all? I hope you guys like what you're hearing so far. But I had to take a moment to let you know that I really want to get your feedback. So if you want to ask a question or leave a comment or even suggest a topic, I would love to hear from you. If you want to send in an email, all you have to do is go to www.hopeinher.com, fill out that contact form, and I will get your email. But for right now, let's get back to the discussion.
It's a bad religion.
I think in a time when it's like we all connected on social media, so it's like you can't really go ghost on people no more because you always available, even if you don't want to be. Like people can find you if they want to. As scary as that sounds, people can find you, and there's really nothing you can do about it because And I think that's another reason why people feel like people owe us. Because if they see you on Instagram or they see you on social media, they feel like you owe them something as to communicate with them outside of that. So it really does. Because if none of we didn't have any of that, then you would be like out of sight, out of mind, It just gives you like this anxiety to know that you're always accessible, in my opinion. So tell me something a little bit as to why you think some reasons guys may go ghost on girl. Or like the guy in this letter. Like, what are some just general reasons as to why guys would do something like that? Like, just up and disappear.
If a man hasn't literally allowed you to literally burst that bubble to be accepted within that circle, how big or small.
Mean, what circle?
Of caring, of
like
importance, priorities, whatever it may be, then, if you're on the outside, you're on the outside. It is what it is.
Right.
And mostly, I want to say most men, that's how we are. We only deal with women that are convenient or on the path that we are going. Like, example. This is just an example. This is hypothetical. This is not real. Let me go ahead and put that out there. This is not real. This is just an example. If I am to cheat on my woman, and at the age that I am, being 34, I'm like, ain't nobody got time for these crackhead ass games. But I'm just saying, if I was to cheat on my woman, if it is not in the route of me going to work and coming home, if it's outside of that, I ain't doing it. Why? Because I don't have time. I'm not finna sit up here and do anything that is deemed extra. You understand what I'm saying? Like, if it's not on my time, if it's not within my realm of reasoning, then it's just not gonna happen. It's just not gonna happen. And I'm only saying that because anytime a man or a woman is really interested in somebody else, you would go above and beyond to show you being interested. Right. You really will. Like,
exactly.
I
agree.
How do you feel? Oh, you sick? I will come bring you some. I'll get some soup and everything. Motherfucker don't know how to make soup. We just do these things just to show that, I care or that person is important to them just for that particular moment. That shit never lasts later on down the line, of course. But we know this. It's just a game that we play. It's the representative that we're showing at that moment, because if that person is not real,
right.
It's not real.
Yeah.
But that's just what we do. That's just what any of us do. And you have to be within that circle. And if you don't make it, some people just don't make it.
Okay, so you're saying that one reason a guy would go ghost on the girls because, make it simple, for what one reason?
Just not that into you at that moment.
Okay, that's good enough. Or, I'm not a guy, but correct me if I'm wrong. I really truly believe that if a guy's not where he want to be, and especially like this guy in the story, if he's not where he want to be in his career or just in life general, he feels like there's no stability or there's nothing that he's accomplished, then that would be a reason why a guy won't be fully committed.
That's 100%. I agree with that 100%.
He will go ghost because he's just not ready to be that to somebody. It's whatever that is, whether it's a romantic relationship or just having a companion in general. Like he can't be fully focused on that because he got so many other things that he's trying to focus on. Right.
And it's a catch-22 with that, because if you're raised like that, or if you've seen, well, I guess I just keep it, if you're raised like that, and if you saw it, while growing up, whether it's your father or your grandfather, whomever, how he took care of his family, took care of the family, took care of the household and all of that type of stuff. If you saw that, that's truly what you believe is exactly what is needed to sustain a relationship.
Right.
Now, the flip side of that coin is some men actually don't have none of their stuff together at all, period. True. When they meet women.
And I think that's what I can speak only, I can't speak for all women, but I do believe that women get so caught up in, we romanticize a lot of the idea of meeting a guy, even if he's not fully where you want to be. We will be like, oh well, we can build together.
Women were poor. Women were poor into that half glass that's literally halfway empty, halfway full, and they'd be like, be 100% optimistic about it. And I'm definitely not going to sit up here and say that it's not valid. It is, because every man needs a strong woman that he can fall back on, that totally believes in him in everything that he's about. We truly do need that. I had to literally get out of the mind frame that that's just, for me to want what I want and have what I have, and to say until I have all these goals and accomplishments out of the way, then I'm going to literally put myself in a relationship. Shit, I might damn near be 38 or 40 before this shit happened to what the world that we're living in. But to have a woman who's not really into that, as far as you don't have to have all of these things. The only thing you need to have is just, as long as you're doing something, like, are you continue to stride for your goal? Are you doing something? And if you are, women can literally latch on to that and pour into that. And if it's a good dude, he's going to take it, and it will grow into something, because she is like, watering the seed. It will sprout into something. Right. But you just have to change your mindset of how you actually look at that type of stuff. Because, again,
it's not always going to happen.
It's not always going to happen. Right. And, I don't know what type of household that he actually grew up in. Maybe that's what he saw and that's just what he believed, or maybe that's just what he made up and feel that's just what has to happen in order for him to to be that into her or whatever. But it's a catch-22. It's a 50-50 sometimes with that shit.
So what do you think about this guy? Why do you think he kept going ghost? What is
hey, whether y'all laugh about this or not, I do. I said he was probably gay. I said that.
Do not understand. Why would you say that?
I said that.
I don't get that vibe, but hey, I don't know. You tell me. Why are you?
I didn't see any flair. I didn't hear. And she definitely didn't say anything like that we gazed in each other's eyes and he held my hand.
Oh my God,
and there was nothing romantic. There was nothing romantic about anything that she said as far as while they were together for the hours, because the damn sure wouldn't. That's on the second date, y'all. They ain't say shit on the first one.
Well, maybe she just didn't want to make the story too long.
Maybe she didn't. We'll never know that unless she write us again.
Okay.
But
so if you're out there, if you're listening, please write us again. To fill in these loopholes, because Travis really.
I need to know. I need to know this, because I need to ask you a couple of questions.
Lord.
I'm not. I do believe women have some like the best gaydar out there, and you got to let me know. Did he what was he wearing? How did he look? How did he talk? What was his mannerism? You mean to tell me that I'm just saying. I'm just saying now. You gotta look at this type of stuff. This is important, because there's nothing that a man can't talk about to a woman unless they are having an internal conflict with themselves and I just can't talk about it right now.
Well, it could have been anything. He could have been like, maybe his mom was sick or his dad passed.
But you can say that my mom's sick. I'm trying to take care of that.
Yeah, you're right.
You can. It's these things you can say these simple things and everything. But when you're having that struggle with that identity crisis, whether you want to you go left or go right, you know what I'm saying. Sometimes that just don't come out so quickly, because you've been told for a long time that ain't right. That's not what it's supposed to be. But of course, he might be bisexual, because he really might like women too. I'm just thinking that he really might be experiencing with that other side, and he's not ready to talk about it because it makes him too vulnerable. And he gets cat and he runs.
Oh my God!
Think about it. How many dudes for a fact? You was like, I just know they're gay, but they never say they're gay, but they cool. They never say they're gay.
Yeah,
and then later on down the line.
But don't you think if she got that vibe, she would have put that out there?
No,
story?
Because I wouldn't put that out there, man. If I was,
she don't. You don't know her from Eve,
hey,
so it's like
don't put that out there. That would literally cancel your whole argument.
What?
Of this writing.
What?
Don't tell her. Don't put that out there.
No, but some women will, if they really want to know, she may say, well, maybe he was, but I didn't get that vibe from this letter, and I think if there was something like that, she probably would have put it in this letter.
I don't know.
Okay.
I think
well,
anytime
if you're listening, let us know. Send me an email. I want to know.
Because anytime a man go on a date with a woman, trust and believe, he is always trying to be close. I mean, gentlemen we will play that. We will play that role.
Right, I get you.
We will play that role because that role needs to be played because we are gentlemen and we need to treat a woman like a woman.
Okay.
But I just want to. But it just has to be made perfectly clear.
It's only an act. We're gonna play that role. We're gonna play that role.
I mean, it all depends. It all depends on how you want to look at it because.
So
okay, think about it like this.
Temporary, right?
Think about it like this. Chivalry.
It's not genuine. Men are not genuinely chivalrous.
No, they're not. They're taught. Like we're taught. Like my grandfather made me.
Okay, it's okay to be taught. Of course, you gotta teach. You gotta teach somebody how to be a gentleman. You gotta teach somebody how to be a lady, however, whatever. But I'm saying, you don't think guys genuinely want to be a chivalrous guy?
I think they want to, but I don't think they understand the purpose. And what I mean by it is,
then whose fault is that? Who's not teaching these guys?
No, it's not even. It's not even the fact of who's not teaching. Mm-hmm. It's the fact of once you understand that is needed, why don't you do your research to understand why, the purpose.
All right, we're not gonna get into that
because everything has purpose.
All right, well, let's get back to the story because you'll have us on a whole nother topic. So
you don't want to admit that he's gay.
I don't know. I would hate to say that. Hey. I mean, I didn't get that, but you do make a valid point. Like anything else, he could have talked to her about.
Later, I really hope you out here listening to this because I'm so serious.
Did you really just put on your serious voice?
Yes, yes. I really hope you're listening to this because I need to know the intimate level on that you guys had the first 2 times that y'all only met.
Nothing happened though.
No, not necessarily.
You mean like okay?
Like I need to know. Was he gazing? Was he just gazing in your eyes? Was he treating you like the most beautiful thing and everything? I mean, I need to know these things because this is what we do.
You send an email.
This is what we do when we are attracted to a woman.
Okay. So what will you say if she sends an email and say yes, he was gazing in my eyes? Like what? That's the bone she even threw out there. Like everything. Negating what you saying right now, she may. Then
it'll just go back to the fact that he just didn't make you a priority.
Okay.
It'll just go back to that. I mean, that's always going to be valid. That is, I mean, that's the foundation that I'm just going to stand on for a while. Like he might not be gay, he might not. You never know. You never know. We don't know because he did it twice.
Yeah.
He got ghost twice. Yes. I'm sorry. I mean, I would never do that.
That sucks.
I would never do that. I would not. I wouldn't want to be ghost twice, let alone be the one who's ghosting somebody. Like I did her like that twice. That's
wow.
Totally
so you make a valid point. Like after that first time, after the 2 years pass or whatever, and they rekindle, in the situation where they met, I don't know how they re-met again, but apparently there's an opportunity for him to ask for her to go out again or whatever. So what do you think should have happened? Do you think she should have accepted that invitation to go out on the second date? Because maybe you're right. Maybe she wanted some closure, and so maybe her going out on the second date gave her closure. And she did talk about how he talked about not passing the bar again, so she kind of felt sorry for him, felt compassion for him, and so maybe whatever negative thought she was having, kind of just...
She should have gave his ass the church hug and kept it going.
You're right. I agree.
and kept it going. I mean, look, you can feel for him and and all of that type of stuff, but baby, you can do that shit from a distance. You don't want that spirit to latch on you, especially when you don't even know what kind of spirit it is.
That is so true.
I'm just saying.
Elaborate on that though. That's good. I agree.
Well, I mean, okay. I mean, how can I put this? Because I don't want to go too heavy on it. I think the type of person that she is, she's a very loving, caring, compassionate individual. Mm-hmm. I mean, and you can see that in both letters.
Right.
That I think she just really love and care about people. Mm-hmm. She saw a lot of things, a lot of qualities in that man that she thought was mirroring her that she probably wanted.
She probably thought he was a very genuine, compassionate guy, and was like. Yeah, had integrity.
Right, and throw his ass on the team. I mean, you need a team of 5. Fuck it.
Oh my God.
I'm serious. Like, hear me out. Because I don't quote unquote believe in soulmate. I believe there's a pool quote unquote of soulmates, and everybody's eligible to make it to the top. Well, it's just all about who I choose.
Right, but I feel like I agree. Well, no, I don't agree, but I definitely believe in the idea of a soulmate. But I believe that you have more than one soulmate. You can have a soulmate and you never be in a relationship with them. And then I feel like you can have somebody who is just that person that you want to spend the rest of your life with. And this is going on a whole different topic.
Not necessarily. Call it a soul pool.
So there's a pool.
There's a pool of souls that are compatible to you.
Exactly. So yeah, I agree. Like I feel like there are more. You can have more than one soulmate.
Yeah, because I mean, we do become intertwined and locked with a lot of people.
Because I know for a fact, like I feel like somebody I met about a year or two ago is my soulmate, but we'll never be together, and that's okay. But we're cool. But I would never like. I'm okay knowing that it's a soulmate is somebody that just really enhances your life in a way. I don't know. I can't explain it. But
I can feel it though. I know what you're saying.
Yes. Yeah, so like even when we talk to this day, I'm like, man, you really like we're so connected. But I do know like our paths will lead us two different ways. You know what I'm saying? So why would you try to fight for something when you know it's probably not going to end up?
Right, because
like you were saying earlier, you can't control people. So why would you try to put somebody in a situation where you know you're gonna be hurt?
You definitely can't.
I agree. I feel like you have. I think you have more than one soulmate.
Yeah.
But that's not on topic either. So
no,
why do we keep going off on tangents?
No, we're not, because we're literally dissecting this bit by bit because the type of people that she's attracted to, she saw that in him. That's pretty much why that she pursued. That's what that's a fact. That's why she did that.
Well, not pursued, but she allowed him the opportunity to even come back into her life.
She made herself vulnerable.
Yes.
She allowed herself to be vulnerable for this man. That's what women do. They allow themselves to be vulnerable for men to come in and penetrate. That's what women do. And that's just the way it is. So she did it, and she did it twice. Okay.
Yes. Even though she seemed to have had her guard up the second time.
I don't think she had her guard up.
I think she went.
I think she tried to motivate herself to have her guard up.
So you think she didn't really?
I think this man wielded some type of power, some type of Harry Potter power over her. Because look, when let me tell you something. When black women,
oh my God,
I mean, I'm just saying black women because I've never dated outside my race.
Okay.
But when black women have made their mind up that they are done, they are done. They don't give a damn. They even, I even throw this in.
Maybe she's just being super, like,
naive.
You think she was naive?
She had to be naive,
wow.
especially when.
But we don't know her history. We don't know how she was with other people. Maybe she was like not naive, or like you say, like she had her guard up with everybody else. But it's just this guy who you really don't know like her history with.
That man showed her them puppet dog eyes.
Maybe you may be right. You may be right.
She became putty to be molded and played with at his disposal. You think? And that's what he did.
So I hope you guys are enjoying this episode of A Male's Perspective, and thank you to T Sams for joining me today on this episode. But if you guys have any stories that you would like to hear on the show and have the guys address, please send me an email at letstalk@hopeandher.com. We would love to hear from you guys, so shoot us the emails, the comments, the questions, whatever you have, because the guys really need something to talk about. This show is for you, and they can only discuss things that are presented to them. So send in those emails because the guys really want to be on the show, and I don't have nothing to give them if you guys don't send us the emails. So again, send me the email at letstalk@hopeandher.com. But in the meantime, stay tuned for next week's episode where Travis and I finish up this episode regarding guys going ghost. Until next time, I'll see you later.
It's a bad religion to be in love with someone who could never love you. Only bad religion could have me feeling the way I do.